It sounds better if I hold the mic up, you can hear me better. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
We're so glad to have you come out and be with us today. We want to welcome Charlie Currents, Hookshot Charlie, back home to Mount Holly. I've been knowing Charlie from my remembrance, say from junior high through high school. We went to East Gaston together. He graduated in the class of 76 and I graduated in the class of 75. Charlie, did you go to Rollins Elementary School?
I did.
Okay, Mount Holly?
2 years.
2 years?
Then third grade, I went to Mount Holly Elementary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, fourth grade I went to Mount Holly Elementary. Well, we're so glad to have Charlie come and be with us tonight. And hopefully he'll be able to come back again.
Amen.
We'll get him to tell us some things about himself. I have some questions for you, Charlie, that people want to know about. Let me see if I can operate this and the mic too. As I said, I remember Charlie at East Gaston, but I didn't really know him. I used to see him in the hall and we would just say hey to each other. I was a extrovert and Charlie was an introvert. I was all over the place. But one thing I noticed about him, he was always smooth.
Yeah.
He'd come through and speak and he was real tall and had a huge afro. And of course all the girls thought he was so handsome. We just thought he was handsome, but we know we didn't stand a chance because he just speak and go on. I'll let him tell you a little more about that when he's talking about his life in East Gaston. Now tell me something about your background as far as your parents and grandparents.
I was born in Mount Holly. We're in Gastonia Hospital. Lived in Mount Holly. Lived in Mount Holly for 18 years. Went to elementary school, as you mentioned before. Rollins Elementary, which closed down. Then I went to Mount Holly Elementary, then to East Gaston. Graduated class of 1976. My father, I don't know if any of you would know that my father and my family were brick masons, all were concrete finishers. And my father was Cleophas Currents. And my mother was Cleo Currents, which a lot of people knew her as Snooky in the neighborhood. And I had two sisters and one brother, and all of them are, one's in Virginia now, and two of them, one moved back here, and the other was in Charlotte. So, in my family, lived in Mount Holly, down near the river Street, what a River Street Park is. That's where I grew up, in that area. And most of the time, that's where I spent a lot of my time, and a lot of it was playing sports. We all played sports. We played everything. Basketball, football, whatever the sport, that's what we did. And I had some fond memories of just coming up, even here at the school. Loved basketball so much that we would illegally break in the gym in my house. I mean, and I can say that honestly, but and one thing I can say about Mount Holly is that what I saw and experienced, Mount Holly, some Stanley, but Mount Holly had some of the best athletes.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
I'm trying to get it louder.
Some of the, maybe some of the best athletes. And the thing about it, I played with these guys all year round, and I know they were good athletes, but there was only so many spots on the team. And I know, and, you know, I felt for them because they were passionate about the game. They could play the game. That's one thing I hated to see. And then there was also, you know, the relationship you had with the coaches for whatever the reason. And some of the guys did get in a little trouble, and that kept them from playing, that kept them from being a part of the team. But I've always looked, and when I was coming up in Mount Holly, some of the players that I looked up to, just super athletes, but during that time, it was difficult. Plus, we were in a small town. We weren't in a place where you got all the headlines, but guys still went off to school and played sports. But it has, for me, it has been one of the best things that ever happened to me. It kept me sort of out of trouble because that's all I want to do is play basketball. And the thing about it, I still play basketball. And I stay out of some trouble.
Well, Charlie, I'm gonna let you go
Okay.
ahead and take it from here.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
First of all, I want to thank everybody for coming out, and I never in my wildest imagination would think I would be back in Mount Holly speaking to some of the people I know and some of the people I've associated with, some of the people that I came up with. And it's just, I was here just recently. I saw the annual up here. I saw the annual. And my high school coach passed away last year, Larry Armstrong. And it was a blessing. And if it wouldn't have been for social media, I didn't know where he was since I left high school because I really didn't come back that often. But it was a blessing that I met him on Facebook and we became friends. And before he passed away, we got to go out and have lunch and breakfast. One of the most beautiful things that I couldn't imagine it. And had no idea where he was, but then as he passed away last year, I got a chance to go to his funeral, which was a blessing. I'll tell you, as Billy Faye pointed out, I was born here. Yes, Aston, you lived here all my life. Lived here 18 years, and I moved to Charlotte. Then after that, graduated, and my aspirations were I thought I would be playing basketball my whole life. That was going to be my career. And so after my senior year, there were some places I could have gone, but I only wanted to go to one place. And probably nobody in this room, nobody really probably ever knew it. And it was Chapel Hill. That's where I wanted to play ball. But that was my secret. And the thing about that is I can confess all that now. And it's Lee Dedman, he was the superintendent of Gaston County, where he coached me. And he was Dean Smith, he was one of Dean Smith's guys. And Eddie Fogler came to our practice. That was Dean Smith's assistant. So there was reason, and the reason I wanted to go to Carolina is that I loved everything about the way they played with each other. I loved how they played as a team, a unit. And we did the exact same thing that they did when Lee Dedman, and then he came through. We had that same, and Armstrong took on some of those same attributes that Carolina had. And so after I left East Gaston, I don't know if any of y'all are basketball fans or know basketball coaches, but there's a coach named Bobby Crimmins. He coached at Appalachian State, and before he went to Georgia Tech. And because I wanted to go to Carolina so bad, I had a chance to go to. He was at Appalachian State, and they went to the NCAA probably 2 years prior to that. And I didn't look at anybody else, but I didn't know what I was going. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And so, in the process, I said, what am I going to do? I didn't, because I know that's what I wanted, but it was just to me, and I didn't have anybody to share that with. So I ended up not going to school my first year. I just sat out. So the second year, I ended up going to a junior college, which was Wingate College at the time. It was a 2-year school. I said, this is great. I'll go here 2 years, and then I can get to go where I want to go. Well, while I was there, things happened, life happened, and it became a 4-year university while I was there. So I went there 2 years, so I just stayed there and finished. And went there to play basketball, because I didn't want to play there. That was just the bottom line. And so that's how my career went as basketball. And was it a disappointment? It was. But the biggest thing that trumped that is my family. My family trumps all of that, and if I wouldn't, I think I would have had so much regret and so much I didn't do this. But when I look at I have 4 children, well, not children, young adults. When I look at them, and just wipes all that out. But I had to get to that point. And you know, the thing about Carolina, I can say, I didn't go, but I had 2 children that were accepted there. So that was another, I just kept seeing it coming, you know. And then when I started doing what I'm doing now, which is the hook shot, I gotta tell y'all how I got to that. Started going to hook shot. Who calls me and want me to come perform? Carolina.
Praise God.
You know, so in you look how life happens, but what has to happen is you have to be consistent in who you are. Even though it's tough and it's rough and it's hard and life throws you all kind of courage, but if you continue to be true to yourself, no matter what's going on around you, and as I see it, and I'm seeing those same things happen now. There's some people, I come across their path, they have come across mine, and I can't tell you how. But the thing is, I know moving forward in my spiritual faith, my spiritual walk has got me to this point.
Hallelujah.
And I gotta say this. When I left my job, well, first of all, I took you up to high school, and then after I got out of high school, I ended up going to, that wasn't my intent to go into, and I did graduate. Graduated with a bachelor's degree in business administration, which I never wanted a degree. I'll tell everybody now, I wanted to play basketball. That was all. I just played basketball so I went to school just so I could play basketball. But I walked out of there and looked back 4 years, I got a degree. Okay, great. And but it wasn't something that I felt rah-rah about, because that wasn't really what I wanted. It wasn't something to school I didn't feel rah-rah about, because that wasn't where I really wanted to be. But I went through all of that to get to where I am today. And I needed every one of those 66 years. I needed every one to get to the point I am right now. And I'm grateful and I'm thankful. And the thing is, when I left, when I ended up quitting my job, it retired, I quit at 23 years. And that's why I was telling you about my faith walk and my spiritual walk. I was with First Union, and I tried everything I could to get out of First Union. And we merged with Wachovia. We acquired Wachovia. And when you merge with companies, you have duplicate positions. And there were there were service packages given to all employees. So I had somebody at Wachovia that was doing the same job I was doing at First Union. They wouldn't let me out, but they let people go. So I guess I was supposed to be there. Then Wachovia merged with Wells, same thing. I wanted the package because I was ready to leave. I was ready to go on with my life, and plus that wasn't what I wanted to do. I ended up staying there. But when I stayed there, and as I said, be true to yourself, they made me an offer that I couldn't refuse. They created a position for me not to leave, and I stayed there 4 more years. So I ended up staying there for 23 years. 22, and plus they gave me another year. I was only at 22, they gave me an extra year, which was 23. But after the 22nd year, I made a decision. I've been in church, go to church, in church. Remember I said been in church. And I made a decision. Are you going to trust your Creator? Or are you going to trust your Heavenly Father? And when I made the decision to quit, I didn't get anybody's opinion. And the reason I didn't, because I make my thing make a lot. The reason I didn't get anyone's opinion, because you're quitting. What are you going to do about insurance? What are you going to do about money? What are you going to do about that? And I was saying, I know what I'm going to do.
Right.
And I know that I was going to continue to trust Him and walk this walk. And even though I didn't know anybody that was doing it. And some of you may know, when I did quit, my insurance skyrocketed to get health care. And but I said, I'm not going to worry about it. And I didn't. And one thing, when I quit that job, I said, I'm not going to look back and say, what if? I'm going to go forward. And so I had to, all of that, this is on me. And because I know how people are, and I know what's your security. This is my security. I had to convince myself of this. And I'm still walking that walk now. But I'm going to tell you what, I would not trade it.
Praise
nothing
God.
in the world.
Hallelujah.
Nothing in the world. And the reason being is, I became the man, the person that I was trying to be because of my circumstance. In the people, in the community you raise, nothing against it. But when you're around certain people in certain groups, you tend to fit in. If not, then you're gonna stand out. And so when you stand out, you may be alone. And none of us wants to be alone. But I had to make that decision, and I made it. And so when I didn't work, and I didn't work for 5 years, never went in for 5 years. And the reason I didn't, because I had enough money to sustain me. Then I had to think about, when I was with the bank, I went to Florida with a company we merged with. I went to tell these employees, you don't want to take that money out. They're going to kill you. They're going to penalize you. They're going to tax you. Because we had to lay some of them off. So what I told all these guys, and I ended up doing what I told them. I just gave them the information. I didn't tell them not to do it. If you got something you want to do, go ahead and do it. But what I did, I went and took all mine out, big time penalty, but I was still believing, and I'm still believing today. I'm not going to let that deter me from doing what he has called me to do. And the thing about that is, you want to question yourself, you want to question that, but I said, when am I going to start believing? Yeah, they say this in the church to do this. No, I wanted to experience it, and I got a chance to. Now, that health care that I told you about, haven't been in the hospital, haven't been sick.
Thank you, Jesus.
And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful, and I'm more than thankful. He has taken care of me. And you know, I know people see me out going, and I know, I've heard it. They've told me. Some people have said, be careful now, be careful. I get that. And I love that people can say that. But he has, and I got to tell y'all about something about my gray hair being out there, people saying that. I was still playing competitive when I was, after I got out of school, playing in leagues. I was playing from Raleigh to just playing basketball like crazy. That's how I quit my job. And I had to shave my head. I kept shaving. The reason is, I ain't giving these young fellas no advantage nowhere. And the thing about it, I'm competing. If I can't compete, I'm not gonna play. And then, and the other thing is that, and see, I can say these things now because I know who I am now. I couldn't say it before. As I shared with you about Carolina, I couldn't have said that to y'all. But also, I didn't want to be a conversation piece, because if I seen someone I went to school with, and I would see them, man, look at your grad, man. I had to hear that. It wasn't bad. So I didn't want to be that. And so what I started doing, I started putting my energy into things that, shaving my head, put a little dye in it, put some dye in it, and the thing is, now I did it for a promo, and I did if y'all ever see a cow with Chick-fil-A doing a hook shot, that's me in that suit. And what it was supposed to do is air during the NCAA 3 years ago, but something happened, they couldn't get it up. But the blessing behind that, they came and asked me if I could do it. And Chick-fil-A is it's a company. And so a real reputable company too. So I was just thrilled. But here's the thing, I was never at that point of wanting to be out there like that, but when the owner, his name is Rob Rogers, one of the greatest guys that I've met in my life, he said that, can you do a hook shot in a cow suit? I said, yeah. Then I walked away, I said, because I never had a costume. But that's how far I came a little bit, because before I would have said, no, I've never done that, but I said, yeah, and I walked away, I was laughing. I said, you can't do no hook shot, no cow suit. But the thing is, I had done enough of them, hundreds of thousands, and the thing, I don't know if anybody knows about the mask that goes over. You cannot turn around and look and shoot the ball. The head is so big, I look out of the mouth. The head is up here. So when I shoot, I can't look to see where the ball is. But I had shot enough shots. I knew where the distance was. Now, I had to get it right. I said, the free throw line is 15 feet. So I had to shoot a few, and then when I shot it, and the little kids, when they start hollering, I know I hit it because I couldn't get around the city. But the thing is, I could see where, not so much pat myself on the back, on the shoulder, but I could see where I couldn't do that some years ago. I wasn't able to be that confident in what I did, or not so much confidence, but I didn't want to feel like I'm this or I'm that, and that comes from my background. Because when I was coming up, we were never told, and I don't know how many of y'all went through this, but there was no such thing as, go get them, you can do it. Now, I had that from my coaches a little bit, here and there, but that didn't come from my family, because we didn't want, in our family, to think you're this, and I don't think we would have, but we just didn't have that push. But they said, in the way they taught us, work hard, whether it be playing, whether it's going to get a job, and that was it, and you do the best you can. So, as I started going through that process of becoming confident, becoming that you can do anything when you believe. And that's what I had to do. It still wasn't me. I still wasn't at that point. And I said, he ain't gonna put anything on me I can't handle. He's not gonna give me any more. And he says, I've already given you all the tools. You know, when a lot of times I'm gonna pray for this, I already got it. I don't know if y'all know about the Wizard of Oz. They were trying to get something. They already had it. Scarecrow, they already had that, and that's where anybody that wants to do anything, and I can say this because I experienced it, is that whatever you need, you got it. I was my own worst enemy, and the thing is, fear was in me, and I know the two, fear and the spirit, can't reside in the same place. So I had to learn. I had to keep learning that, keep doing it. And then when things go wrong, I had to come back and say, why did you do that? Why? And I made a decision. If I didn't want to do something, I wanted to be because I didn't want to and not because I was scared. So what I had to start doing, things that made me uncomfortable. There's a guy in this state of Maryland named Rick Eldridge. He's a movie producer. I don't know if y'all know him. Went to East Gas.
Yeah.
And he produced movies. He's known. He's known worldwide. And I know him because he hit me with a baseball. Rick was one of the hardest throwing pitchers around here, and I was the third guy he hit me right here. And he could throw so hard when that ball hit that mitt. You know, but you had to stand in there. So I was up there, and I went to do it, and that ball he hit me right here. And I hadn't seen him since then. That's been 40 years ago. So I went to, as I was saying, I had to stop being afraid. So I started making myself uncomfortable. So I said, this is after I quit my job. So you got to start doing some things, going some places. So guess what I started doing? I started doing movies. Don't know nothing about it. Didn't want to be a part of it. But that's where I met Rick at. He was doing a movie in Greensboro. And the movie is on The Ultimate Life. And I ended up getting in the movie. Played an extra. And from that extra, I got in another movie. And I don't want to be an actor. But the thing about being an extra, you can stay on the set all day, and they say, this time when you walk in, I want you to do this. No lines. So I like that. You know, you got to learn that. And they feed you, Ray, they feed you good. Eat all day. And I love that. And so that's what has happened in my life when I decided to stop being my worst enemy, stop being afraid of everything. And I wanted to meet 3 people in my life. There's one other person I want to meet. I've met all 3 of them. And none of them lived here, none of them I had ever met. And I was just crazy. One is Nancy Giles, CBS. I don't know if y'all know her. She used to do 60 Minutes with Andy Rooney. She's still on Good Morning, and I love that show. I love her talent. And so I'm going to hear her speak in Charlotte. And I'm driving, and I go to pull up at the place where she was speaking. And a big old limousine rolls up beside me. He's coming this way. I'm going into the show. He stops there. I said, rolled one down. He said, can you tell me where the so-and-so building is? I said, I think it's right up here. He was going like opposite direction. I said, are y'all going to hear Nancy Giles speak? And they said, yes. Now, she's in the back, but I don't know her because I can't see her. So I said, turn around and follow me back. So I took him back, and when we pull up, he tells me, he said, Nancy's here. He said, I'm going to let you speak to her. I don't know neither one of these people. I don't know the driver or Nancy. So guess who I got to talk to after the show? Nancy Jones.
Praise God.
But I would have never been able to if I wouldn't have stepped out. Fear keeping, and I was my own worst enemy. The third person, who's heard of Dick Gregory?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Okay. Comedian, activist. He passed away. Guy just full of knowledge. I wanted to meet him. I loved his knowledge. I loved what he brought to the table. And so my daughter's in school up at NC State, and she decided to take a summer school class. And when she signed up for it, they wanted her to be in a movie in Wilmington. So she asked me, we had to make a decision. Do I be in the movie or do I go to summer school? And I didn't know what to tell her really. And I'm in Charlotte. So I said, go to summer school. She only had maybe one class to graduate, or one class, I think. 2 classes. And I said, I don't know. So guess what I did? I drove up to Wilmington, drove up to state, Raleigh, took her to Wilmington, back to school, back to state, back to school, back and forth. She was in the movie, Jazz Singer, and it's a great movie. Yeah, and and then I got there with her, and at this time I didn't decide to do any movies, so I'm there on the set, and they asked me if I want to be in the movie. I said, I could be an orderly, right? I said, well, no, I'm still shaky about doing stuff. I hadn't done my first movie here in Charlotte. I said, no, I'm all right. And so while we were on the set, I go on the back lot in Wilmington. I'm sitting down at the table. Guess who comes out there to set and talk with me? Just me and him, Dick Gregory. And we had a conversation I would have never in my wildest dreams. And you know, and I keep thinking, those are the kind of things we keep ourselves from doing, or being in those places just out of fear. You know, I didn't go up there to meet him. I just went up there. Matter of fact, didn't know he was in the movie. And so, and another guy, I wanted to meet 3 people. Another one's Skip Gates. He does he searches your background for your ancestry on 42 PBS, whatever. And so I wanted to meet him. And so I'm in the airport in Jersey, up in New Jersey. Who do I run into? And the thing about it, I'm trying to be not known or not trying to be, hey, how you doing? He stopped. He wanted to know my name. You know, for what? I'm in the airport along with everybody else. But I told him my name, and we didn't talk long, but the fact that he wanted to know who I was showed me again, that's what you keep yourself from engaging with people. And not that I feel bad about it, but as I've grown, I try to share with people, do what you feel. And it may take small steps. It may take small steps to be there. But see, when I asked my Father, Heavenly Father, He delivered quicker than I was ready to accept it. Because I didn't know it would come in. I wasn't ready. I thought I was. You know, I get a call, and there's so many things. In fact, when I was looking through the yearbook and I pulled up the video, I saw some things that I had forgotten about. I got a call, and like I say, I'm ready to change my life. I'm ready to do. I'm Ellen DeGenerate producer. I got a call from her producer, and out of the blue. It's 8:30, and it's out there. It's 5:30. I'm saying, who's calling me? And usually I don't answer this unknown number. And he started questioning me who I was. How did I get to this? Because my video is on YouTube. And just take a step back. When I quit my job, my first video was put on YouTube by a guy that worked at Channel 3. And he asked me, he said, can we air your video tonight? And at this time, I think I'm ready, but I wasn't ready to get out there like I thought I was. I said, yeah, so he aired my video. And backtrack, this is where, when you're doing things that's in your heart. Well, I took that video that was on YouTube. I ended up doing that video for a summer camp. They were supposed to pay me. They said they had a grant, this church. But before that summer camp started, the teacher and the people said, we're not gonna be able to pay you. We don't have money. Will you do the camp anyway? You know, everybody likes to get paid, but I wouldn't get did the camp. Well, if I wouldn't have did that video, it wouldn't have got on YouTube. He wouldn't have been able to put it on there because that was my first one. I put it on there, probably a couple days later, they wanted to air it on WBT. And I say that to say, it's not always about getting paid about the money. Sometimes you gotta do things what's in you. That's why I say, when you know who you are. And it may not make sense, it may not add up, and but I did it. And so I look back when you're doing it for the right reasons, when you're doing it for the right motives. And so as I continue to walk this path, I think about all the things, the Ellen Show, the Steve Harvey Show. Now that's something that, and the thing about it, all these shows I never shared with anybody. I never shared the Steve Harvey Show with anybody because I was in that world. I was still, like you say, I was coming out a little bit. I get a call from Steve Harvey, producer. I know her name, we talked several times. And then again, I wasn't ready. I thought I was, but this really shook me right here. And she says, we want you to be on the show. And I said, okay, I'm ready. And she says, how do you feel about dating someone? I said, I'm ready, because I'm going to do this thing, right? And she called and told the lady that I was supposed to date, who I was, my age. They called back and told me about her. How do you feel? I said, okay. Because I'm saying, I just want to get on there and just show I'm Hookshot Charlie.
Right.
And I was scared though, because at this time, you know, I'm single, I'm divorced, but I wanted to do the basketball. I said, I get on there, we go out, whatever, and they said, what do you do? I said, I do Hookshot. That'll give me an opportunity. But because, and it wasn't, I didn't say it was the wrong motive. So she called me back, we kept back and forth. And so Tuesday night, my phone, I got up that morning, Wednesday morning, all I see is all these missed calls. I got a voicemail, I said, where are you? I go to bed early. I might go to bed at 8 or 9 o'clock, and I might go at 7. But sometimes I play ball all day. So I get up, I see all these messages on my phone, where are you? So I called her. This is what I told you, scared me. So I said, yeah. She said, where are you? We trying to get you. We got your plane, we got your flight and ticket and everything waiting at the airport. I said, I'm at the gym. Now I could have called her when I got up that morning. I didn't call her at 9 o'clock because I didn't know what she wanted. They said, we need you in Chicago today. And I said, okay. They said, we're gonna try to get you on the 1 o'clock flight. I say, so I go home, pack up my stuff, get a call, that flight got canceled. And really when it got canceled, I was happy, really, because I wasn't ready to do, I thought I was, but I wasn't. But the thing is, be careful what you ask for because you may get it. And I got it bigger than ever I could imagine. But now, as I've gotten a little bit more and more courageous, brave, it's some things now, I don't let fear stand in the way. And I still may not do it, but I want it to be because I don't want to do it, not because I'm scared to do it. And so, who knows John P. Key in here? I got to tell y'all what happened during COVID. COVID changed my life. Everybody's life got changed, but COVID did something to me that, and I haven't shared this with a lot of people. I'm gonna tell you who I fell in love with during COVID. I fell in love with black folk, like I've never loved them before. Even though I'm a black person, I fell in love because I saw some things happen, and COVID shut us in. I was on my internet 24/7. I was on there with people, and I started reading all this stuff and things that were going on in the world. But really, when I started falling in love with black people, black folk, I started falling in love with myself because I always put myself in a place of pushing it down, you know, with the basketball. There's a guy named Richard Mack, Curtis Alexander, some of you may know him. They called me out when I was playing in high school. This goes back to putting myself in a place I wanted to be. I didn't want to stand out, but I just wanted to be in the middle. I wanted to slide in and slide out. I didn't want to be noticed. And so Curtis and Richard Mack, I could hear them on the side. I could not hit 2 or 3 shots. And they would tell me after the game, why you stop shooting? They'd be all up in me. I said, because I shot enough to win. I shot enough to be a part of the team, but I didn't want to be the starter. I wasn't nearly nowhere to accept that. And so they would always get on me. And I carried that throughout my life. I carried that throughout my adult life. Had a job, stayed right in here, did a little bit. I did more than the average guy, but I didn't want to be out there like that. Because I know when you get out here, you got a whole lot more opportunities to get hit. And so that was, and I looked at that. And those 5 years I told you, I got a chance to do all that internally. I didn't go try to get people's opinion, because everybody has an opinion, which is some are good. But my thing was, what are you going to do with your life? And I decided I was going to trust Christ with my life.
Praise God.
He trusted me.
Amen.
And so the things I've done, I look back and I say, wow, because that wasn't me. And I know I couldn't have done it. There's no doubt, but I thought I knew it, and I thought I was a good person, and that's good. But all those, John P. Key pulled up to me at the basketball court during COVID. I don't know who John P. Key is in this limousine. One that comes down, just like this Ricky Proud movie, I don't know. He pulls up in a black,
Come to America.
yeah, black limousine, and the windows come down. He said, hey, how you doing? I said, good, man. I knew who he was. I said, he said, I know who you are. said, you Hookshot Charlie. And he said, if you ever need anything, I don't care what it is, call me. And he meant it. He said, call me. So later, I can't sing, I can't play, but I love music. Can't do none of those instrumental things. But my children can, so I got another blessing. My son, he writes music, plays all instruments, two of my sons and my daughter. But the thing is, John put me on one of his music videos. So if y'all ever see Let Me Breathe, I'm at the front when it comes on. And I ain't singing, he just got my picture. So it just shows you, man, you know, here I am on John P. Key is a renowned, world-renowned artist.
Yeah.
And here I am on his video, and I ain't singing a lick, just standing there. You know, so it just shows you when you just go out and, you know, and sometimes you have to change your surroundings, change your friends. And I'm going to go ahead and say this because I've experienced it. Sometimes you got to sidestep your family. They may love you, but sometimes who knows you better than anybody's your family, people that you grew up. Sometimes you just have to step away. You don't want to, but sometimes you have to. And you won't be alone. I made a video today that says, I'm outside shooting, the wind is blowing, the green trees. I made it yesterday, and the first thing I think, it seems like you're by yourself, you're alone, but you're not. And so sometimes you step away, and then hopefully they understand, they may not, but eventually when you do what you're called to do, they still may not understand, but they'll respect you. And so my thing, and what I try to share with people is, I try to share them my truth. I don't say do what I do. All I try to do is share with them with my truth and what I experienced. And I never could have gotten in front of a group of people and said about the hair, about the dye, but I can tell you why I did it. You know, I won't tell you now, but I have no problem with being the real person that I am and sharing with some other brother, some other sister, some other friend, because I always wanted someone to tell me the truth. And I had a conference with my mother's still alive, matter of fact. My mother's up finding more than I am sometimes. She's in Virginia. But I remember sitting down with her, and I asked her this. I told her I just wanted to know the truth. And sometimes that hurts people, you know, when I come out, because the thing about it, it's a lot of things that have hurt us, and we don't want to go back there. I was, you know, and I myself can say, I've depressed a lot of stuff. You know, living here in Mount Holly and Charlotte, going through my life. But now I'm saying that you don't have to, but I'll show you I'm honest enough. And I trust my Creator I know He's going to take care of me, and I can't fear no man. So I have to continue to put that in me, that there's nothing no man can do to hurt me.
Amen.
He can do something just right here, but it's my soul.
Amen.
He can't touch it. And that's all of us. And you know, I would have never thought I would be able to stand before a group of people and share my life. I would, and I still know that it's not me. And because my thing is, Billy stated, no one knew anything about me. No one. And basketball was the thing that saved me. That's one thing I could do. I enjoy it, and I could do it all day long with or without anybody. And I kept myself tied up in it. I didn't get into it. It's things that my sister shared with me that happened when I was small that some people did, and some people were involved in. I don't even remember it. Because I just wasn't, and sometimes I think, where was I at? But I was wrapped up in that basketball. And another thing I meant to point out, when I say family and friends, I never forget either. Also, when I was coming up, that I played so much basketball, some of us in the neighborhood, not just me, some of the older guys, and some of our family members would say, in not a good light, every time I see you got that basketball in your hand, it wasn't, yeah, go get it. That's why I was saying earlier, you may not be cheered. These are older. So we had to deal with that, internalize the best way we could, and then we had to break in the play ball, break into the gym. So those things we had to fight through. And then that's not including the social issues that you have to deal with on a day-to-day, you know, with drinking and all this stuff. You still got all that to deal with. So anybody, and I say this, and I've talked to Billy, and we've talked, anybody that's here now, you come through some stuff, I don't care who you are,
Amen.
to get where you are. And you had to deal with a lot of stuff, and there's no one that I know that can say that they didn't, and if they did, you need to get away from them. And that's what I felt like, and I believe that's what built me. I didn't want it because it was like medicine. I didn't want to take it, but the more I took it, the stronger I got. And now some people, social media, I had to find this out the hard way. You gotta have thick skin to be on the social media. If you're not gonna go back and forth, if you're not gonna do this. But one thing I've never, and I didn't even think about it getting as big as it is, but you can never go on my page. I'm on social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, you name it, I'm on there. But one thing I never did is come back to anybody on social media. You'll never be able to look on my page. And I didn't know it would be this big, but I would never bad word to anyone. And now people look at students now, they look at jobs, they go on their social media page to see who you are. We didn't know that. But the thing about it, when you try and you give what you have to treat people right, you can never go wrong. Never.
Amen. Amen.
I don't care. And it's difficult, and I can say this. I never thought about it, but I knew I wanted something greater than what I observed when I was coming up. I knew I wanted something greater when I became a teenager, when I became a young adult. And I'm not ashamed, and I can say that thing, and that thing is love. I've always wanted it, but what I started doing, I had to open up my life to receive it. I had to open up my life to let people into my life, because I didn't. And I didn't have a problem with it. But there's a song, there's a song, and Aretha Franklin made it. And the song is Ain't No Way. I don't know if any of you heard it. Ain't no way, no. That song is so powerful. And have anybody ever heard that song, Ain't No Way?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, ain't no way for you to love me. Does anybody know the next line in that song?
The way, if you won't let me.
That's it.
If you won't let me.
And that was me. That's it. And when I realized, even though I sung it all my life, I just came upon that in the last year or so. If you won't let me. And see, that's where I was. Ain't no way for me to love you if you won't let me. And a lot of us won't let people, and I know why. Because you become vulnerable. You can hurt me. But if you're willing to let someone love you, oh wow. I'm telling you, it opened up a world. It has for me. Now, it ain't gonna be all rosy and every fluff and everybody gonna be dead. But once you open up to let someone love you, it's one of the most, I can't even explain it. I cannot explain it, and because it has let me meet some people. And there's a not my family, there's a bakery in Cadiz. And if y'all are ever up that way, the best cakes you've ever had in your life called Heart to Heart Bakery. Heart to Heart Bakery. And I ended up going to that bakery. And the wife owns the bakery, the husband owns the car shop, top of the line, you know. And this bakery is up here, the auto mechanics are back in the back. And they're the reason why I can make that statement. When I open up my heart to them and open up my life to them, when I tell you about unconditional love, it blew me away. And what I realized about that love, and there have been a couple of people in my life, and I always wanted someone to trust me. And I trust people, but I don't know if I've given people open up and let them trust me. But Heart to Heart Bakery, I started helping them out. They asked me to be a part of their business. They don't know what they got into, because I love sweets. I love them. And they do two things that I love. And I can eat all, they give me all the cake I want. All I can eat. And sometimes I take it, if any of y'all want some, sometimes I leave out of there because they have jazz concerts on Sunday. And she's gonna bake all these cakes. They don't sell them. I just take it. You know, and some they take to the nursery homes. And but anyway, they do jazz concerts. And I love music and desserts. I got the two best things a man could ask for. And so I started helping them out. They asked me to be a part of that family. But what got me more than anything that they wanted me not only to be a part of that group, but they wanted me to have a key to their building. You know, and you gotta think about this. I don't have the key to so I don't know if some of my family members trust me. They probably do. But, and, you know, I was blown away. I said, and if I need to go up there, and also PBS did a story on me, public broadcast. They did my party, watch party, for the family, everybody came, and I didn't want them to do it, but they wanted to do it. And so I just say that in all of that, when someone trusts you with their possessions, because I'm saying, what if I go in there and do this or whatever, I'm just thinking. And then another friend of mine, she bought a house, and you remember I'm not working now. She bought a house, and she needed, so-and-so had to come. This guy had to come, air conditioning, whatever. This that she was in there. And she trusted me with her house, with her key, you know? And that's what that's what my heart has always wanted. But I had to give that opportunity for that to happen. And they had to trust me, but at the same time, I had to open up my heart to let them know who I was. And sharing this with y'all, and I never thought that I could, and you know, this is, I've talked to YMCA groups, I've talked to some organizations, but I was looking forward to coming here because this is where I grew up. You know, I'm glad to see some people that I know, and it does something to me, and it does something to me in a way that I'm grateful. And when you're grateful, you think different. You think different when you're grateful, and it should play out in your life. But the thing I want to do, and I'm going to continue to do, is to let people know who He is in my life. And the thing about it is,
Yes.
you can say that all day, but you got to show it. And the thing about someone's always watching me.
Yes.
You know, the guy from Chick-fil-A, the people, and I got to realize, and I realize I'm a representative. So I'm on my P's and Q's. And because I'm a man, there's some things I want to do, but I say, okay, hold on now. You don't need to be over there. You don't need to be doing this. So I have to keep myself in check, because the thing is, I want to make sure, and I messed up. Somebody spoke about, do I ever miss a hook shot? I missed thousands, but I hit thousands. But the reason why, and I had to post up some missed hook shots on social media to tell people I have these kind of days. But the thing about it, who wants to see missed hook shots? Not too many people. But I want people to know this ain't trying to fake nobody, fool nobody. When I say you had to have thick skin to be on social media, man, let me tell you, there's some stuff on there, and you got to just be able, and don't fire back. That's the last thing you want to do, because that's out there forever. I got to do a video on spinning the ball. There's something out there now that there's no way you can spin the ball with your finger that fast. And you know, I'm okay with that. I don't have a problem. There's no way you can hit that shot like, I'm okay with that. Because matter of fact, it's a blessing. I don't take it as, I'm gonna show you. I ain't even into that. I'm past that. Somebody said today on Instagram, y'all know what the shade is, right? I get all this from my daughter. Throwing shade, y'all may not know what this is. It's saying a compliment, but they're cutting you down. And if you go on there and look, I'm gonna give y'all my Instagram page, Hookshot Charlie. But you go on there and look, it's all over social media. But yeah, I see it. The guy told me today, he said, I made some shots, did some stuff, and he said, this is mine. This is my shirts.
Awesome.
And I'm gonna tell you how people are pulling for me. I'm not a salesman, and I don't try to sell these shirts. Matter of fact, I never, probably done gave away more than I sold. But who knows Franklin Green? Frank.
Yeah.
Frank. Yeah. I'm trying to give him, even if I don't make what I put into it, I'm great, $10. He said, no, you gotta charge more than that. I said, no, man, he's trying to make me up my charge. You know what he gave me for this shirt? $20. And I kind of felt, I didn't want $20, but the thing about it, that's how people are supporting me. They're supporting me in ways that I don't want to make money off of them. I still want to do some stuff. I want to do a corporate part of this because they have enough money. And This came out of Atlanta. I don't even know, people made these for me when COVID was in, sent me some stitch, you know, and so I feel like I have to do the best that I can do because it's people pulling for me. Now, some against me now. Everybody ain't pulling on the side. I ain't trying to give y'all no, shoot y'all any kind of stuff, but if some people don't want you to, but the guy said today, getting back to it, he gave me a great compliment, Grandpa. Grandpa, you doing that thing. He was giving me a compliment, but he was trying to cut me down. You know, so that's the shade part. But you know what, I usually don't come back, usually I just skip it and like it. But this one, I made a reply. And in the reply, he said, oh no, here's what he said. He said, Grandpa, you did great. You should have more followers. Now he done gave me some credit on I should have more followers. And I said, no, baby. Grandpa was all right with the followers he got. And now he's probably, now it might have been a girl or a guy didn't see that. But the thing is, they may take that and run with it, but I try not to criticize him or her. But I try to let them know, no, baby. When I said baby, that's gonna cut a little bit. I said, no, Grandpa, all right. You know, so the thing is that I want to continue to show people I love them and not look for a response back, because that's what hurts. You become disappointed only when you expect. Your expectations are high. If you're not expecting anything, and I don't know, I think I posted it up on Facebook. Somebody said that I'm out there doing what I want to do, and I'm not expecting anything in return. And this person said that, and that's who I am. I don't need that to make it, but sometimes it gives you that energy, that courage, that next step. And sometimes when I'm on the court, someone steps up and says something, I was ready to go. But if somebody comes back and says, man, that shot was, I might shoot 100 more shots. Because it gives me that energy, that encouragement. And because I don't need to look on, they think I'm this, I don't need that. I know who I am. But what I do is that I try to take it in a way that it encourages me, it inspires me, and I want to inspire someone else. I want to leave you with one last thing. Anybody have any questions? And like I said now, I went on Facebook, I'm going to say this last thing. I went on Facebook when I first got on. When I started living this life, that I'm living now, and I started feeling this love, and I knew it was some people. I said, that ain't the guy I knew in school. That ain't the guy that would never say anything to anybody, never to me. But this is who I am now. And so I had to be aware of that, because somebody said, I know to be Charlie. And who knows my real name in here?
Charles Christ.
I had to look it up.
My real name, Philip, and probably, is that, wouldn't nobody say that Philip, but they'll say that Charlie, but a basketball coach has called me Phil. I got everything in school and work except Philip. The only time I got Philip is if I was getting something, you ready to go from the sheriff, getting something legal. You know, when I get paid, my name's Philip on it. And but everybody knows me as Charlie. And now, Hookshot Charlie. And I never wanted to be Hookshot Charlie. I never wanted to be, because I played basketball. I didn't sit and do a hook shot, I shot. But I was doing a hook shot. But what I decided, and I made a decision that, what are you fighting this for? So I embraced it. And once I embraced it, yeah, I'm a hook shot, Charlie. Yeah, I'm a hook shot. Instead of they calling me this and I'm trying to using all this energy not to, I just embrace it. And what really changed it, when I was walking downtown Charlotte, and Blue Line, which is the trolley, not the trolley, it's the links. Thank you. It's the links. I'm walking down the track, and I see the links coming. You know, they're going to walk by. I hear this horn, beep, beep. I'm not on the track. I'm just walking, beep, 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 beep. All of a sudden, I look over there. I don't know he's beating at me. Then I see him say, hook shot. That moment, you know, I walked away, and I felt good about it. And so it's those kind of things that sometimes you just gotta be by yourself and figure out who you are, what you wanna do. Because you have people that love you and care about you. But sometimes you gotta make that decision no matter what anybody else thinks, because once you come to that day, that time, when you have to give account, you can ask, who were you with, what did they say, what did you do? And that's what I try to think about in my life, what did I do? Not that I'm always making the right decision, but I wanna, if I'm gonna do it, I wanna stand behind it and see how I can fix it if I did it wrong. Yes, Ben? You said you had a question? Yes, no. I'm sorry, I had to say that, that was the last thing, it was long. But that's okay. But I want to thank y'all for coming out, for sharing this time and letting me share some things. Oh, another thing that's coming up. Is any entrepreneurs in here? There's a, and I like, even on my social media page, there's a group in Charlotte called Charlotte is Creative. Get with them. And I've never been a part of, associated with anything. Charlotte is Creative. When they invite you to this thing, they want to know, what do you need? How can we help you? If you're an artist or you got a product, they got spaces that they let you have for 6 months. That's their organization. They say, okay, what do you need? How much money? We got a grant that we can get you, and no strings attached. Charlotte
It's
is
creative.
Creative. Now, when you see them post and they say we have an event, matter of fact, they're celebrating their 100 posting of 100 activities, is that you have to, they'll say, okay, we got these many people, and they'll let you know on the email, okay, you can come, because they just don't get everybody. And they've been selected, but they can't take 100, 500 people. They can probably take 45 or 50, and they have them almost every week. But that's one of the organizations that I encourage anybody. It's fun, and they don't waste your time, and everything that takes place, you can get on the email, who was there. Like the last one I was at, we had paddles, and everybody got up and spoke and said, well, I need this for my business. They got up and spoke, he sat down, somebody recorded it, so we got it all in the email. And that way, if you had any questions, you could call 21, you know who 21's name was on the paddle, and you would call them for a sidebar, whatever. But the thing is, I just like to share stuff with people that are doing things and that want that thing, then you share it with someone else, and this is for everybody. But I made a conscious decision when I quit my job, started doing basketball. I could not get a gym, and they would not let me have a gym do a video. And the reason being is I didn't have any insurance, I was in a company, but I thought that was wrong. You know, I went to the churches and they said, well, do you have any insurance? I said, and I didn't. I was just trying to do videos. But I said I would never, and I get that, that's legal. Because I go in there and break my leg, I sue them. But the thing, what I said I would do, I said, I'm gonna make sure I don't do that. Whatever I'm out here doing, whether it's basketball, I'm gonna make sure I let people know, go do this, go do that. Whether, you don't owe me anything, and all I need to hope to hear from you, hey man, that thing you sent me to, that's all. Because my thing is to help people any way I can and not look for anything in return. And you'll get more than you put out. And when you do it for the right reasons, you'll get more than you put out. Anybody else have any questions? Yes.
We got a couple kids in here. Can you show one of your videos?
Yes, and also, I gotta show you my stand.
Yes, that's right.
You gotta show me that you missed a shot.
Okay.
Name on the screen.
And the other thing is,
Is it,
it's,
let's see.
okay.
It just. Yeah.
That's a secret to, and it's no secret, but I've learned a lot of things by just being on the basketball court. And one thing I realized is that, is that I started doing this before social media. I started doing this, I don't know if I shared with y'all that I went through a divorce separation. That's why I started doing this. That's why I quit my job. I made a decision, a conscious decision. I said, what are you gonna do with your life? I'm gonna quit my job? No. I'm gonna get another job, I'm gonna move here. No, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna trust him and leave my job. And that's what I did. I didn't get anybody's opinion. And I did it, and yeah, some people looked at me sideways, which, you know, when you've been in a job 23 years and you decide you're gonna quit, I get that. But they didn't know where I was. They didn't know who I was trusted, you know, in that process. And so That's why I say I kept it to myself. And, because I know they would try to talk me out of it. Even my managers at work, they said, no. They said, can you just stay 2 more? I said, no, I can't. And let that money, oh, let me get this. But the thing with the spinning the ball, and this comes back to what I was saying, I couldn't spin the ball when I was in school. Could you, Reggie? You could?
Yes.
You could do it?
Yes.
You can do it.
Okay, I couldn't, and maybe, I don't know, I just never tried, I just couldn't do it. But, when I started staying on the basketball court, things started happening, and I'll share with y'all. And I don't think I do it any different, but I think I share with someone, it's on social media, there's no way nobody can spin the ball that long and do what you're doing with the basketball. That's why they say, you know, I'm okay with spade, no problem, but I ain't gonna try to convince them. See, this is a story, I don't know if it's gonna come up. Oh, let me just do a hook shot. Oh, that's what we were getting earlier right here. I don't know what's going on. Can't get the full screen. But I'm gonna tell you about the, is there any way you can pull that up? Tell y'all about this real quick, and I'm not gonna hold y'all any longer on it. Let me see if I can do this.
The kids want, the adults wanna see it too.
What'd you say?
We want to see the video.
Okay, I was trying to get it up. It's
Go to
not-
your YouTube page, Charlie.
Huh?
Go to your YouTube page.
I did,
You on Google?
let me see. Oh, here we go, right here.
That's the second one, right?
There you
That-
go.
Almost on the bottom, yeah.
I think it takes a while to buffer. But I was saying that, and I think this is anything. Ray, can you come and get this? Probably do this, if you don't mind.
I'm on Apple man, but I try.
Oh, excuse me. As I was saying that, I truly believe once you do something that you care about, that you're passionate about, that's the very first, now this is the very first one. When I was scared of my gray hair, I started shaving it, and every day I was shaving twice a day because I didn't want my gray hair to be shown. Because,
With Fargo, the new virtual assistant from Wells Fargo, you can instantly know what you spend on things like food.
and you know, the thing about it, I really get excited sharing that with people, but I didn't want to do it at the
More
time.
faster,
You
easier
know,
things. You can with Wells Fargo.
and this is also the first video that I was at the summer camp and they didn't pay me. But they told me in advance, and so, and I didn't know how to, that was my first time ever really even doing something like this.
Awesome.
The first time.
I mean, when I started doing, after I started practicing.
Oh my God.
Awesome.
So what year was this?
Maybe 2012, 14.
You missed one.
I did. Well, we wasn't doing a whole lot of editing then either.
I just wanted to see you miss one. Oh, wow.
Now,
Before we leave you, there's a musical message.
How long did you shave your hair?
That's crazy.
Years?
4 or 5 days.
Oh my gosh.
All that pretty hair, can you imagine that? You should
You
have
know,
known.
but then when it came back, I had black in it. When it came back, all black was gone. Oh, yeah. And so, when you do what you're passionate about and you do it consistently, you find out things about yourself. You find out new things.
ESPN said she was the best off.
And I never knew how to spin the ball on the thing, you know, I just never did it. But I'm gonna tell you the secret for me, and if you go on some of my pages, you read that that's not real, there's no way you can spin it like that. But when I started spinning the ball, now here's what I do, and I haven't said it, but I'm gonna do a video, I can take this ball and open a bottle cap with it.
I've seen this.
And,
I've seen that.
take the bottle cap off, and now, in the meantime, it keeps spinning. And when the bottle cap comes off, the ball is still spinning, I'm drinking the water. And so that's why, but it goes back to you trying to prove to people what you can do. That doesn't matter. I'm not gonna sit around and try to show someone that I do it. If someone would ask me to do it, and redo it, we'll do it. But as far as just saying, look, yes I can, look, I'm not doing that. Because I was never at that place in my life, but I'm definitely not there now. And so my thing now is trying to get, Gatorade has a new water coming out. I don't know if anybody heard about that. It's supposed to be this spring and this summer. So that's what I'm trying to, that's who I'm marketing right now. I'm trying to go after this Gatorade. I sent them my videos with the Gatorade bottle, drinking it, spinning the ball. But you know, he said this is gonna happen.
Did the Globetrotters ever call
They did.
you? What?
Let me tell you what happened. That goes about, I'm sorry, but that also says that be careful what you ask for. Now that came too quick for me. I wasn't ready.
Joe, take off the mic. You don't need a mic in here.
Yeah.
Take it
I
off.
wasn't ready for that, right? Excuse me. I wasn't ready for that. Cut it off.
Get that thing off. You don't need a mic in here.
What happened? I was going to a group called The Experience they had here in Mount Holly. We were doing music with Eric Bryson and Dana Bryson.
Yeah.
And I ended up signing with an agent, sports agent. He says, can I represent you and put you on the Globetrotters? He already had a player on there. And then I said yes. But I know I didn't, at this stage of my life, that's the last thing. I don't mind playing a game with them, but I don't want to try. I didn't want to do that. So when he signed me that 2-year contract we signed, I was ready to do it, but I wasn't ready. The same thing I said about Steve Harvey. I was ready, but I wasn't ready. As I started thinking about it, but I didn't feel pressured. I felt a little bit of fear. And so, but I was grateful for the opportunity. I'm gonna get another opportunity to do something with them. I just wanna, if they come to town, maybe go out and scrimmage, play with them, and shoot something with them. And so that's what happened with that. And I was ready to do something because I got on the stage that night at the Experience and I shared it, because they had told me. And then after that thing, I did the same thing with that as I did with Steve Harvey. I pulled away. Now, if they'd have kept after me, I probably would have done it. But when I pulled away, they didn't come back. I said, good, good, because I really wasn't ready for that. But about this right here, see if you can find this video, right? There's something different about this. I'll go ahead and share it. I'm gonna share it with you. But I've never seen, and I didn't realize it either, but I don't advise it because it may not be good. But people spin the ball like that, but I spin it on my fingernail. And that may not be good over a period of time. It'll spin all day on my fingernail, but it probably will wear it down. So that's why I don't want to tell anybody to do it. Most people spin it on the tip of their finger. But if you put it on your nail, it'll just keep going. So now some of y'all can do that. Like I say, I just don't want to tell anybody to do it. I haven't seen mine go down yet, but I just can't see over a period of time. And if the ball is rough, it'll probably eat away at your nail. You know, so that's why I haven't done it or shared it with anybody.
If you keep doing it, you're gonna have a nub.
Then you're right. I may. But you really can't tell unless you really examine. It looks like I'm doing that, but that's the way it is. See, when it sets on top of that net, it needs to go around.
This one you want?
No, let me see. We want the ball. But I want y'all to. That was early too.
Selling apple, man. That's the one right there.
That's going down. There we go. But I'll just say this. It's been,
You know what the title of it is? If you know the title.
I just, and I have so much stuff on social media I see stuff that I forgot I even did, or that I, you know. I just wanted to show them this is one. I got a bunch of them on there where I'm using the bottle cap.
Did it?
I also got one where, no,
Did you?
that's
Did it?
this is Gatorade, but I also learned how to, it goes back to what I was saying again about doing something you're passionate about. I also learned how to talk on the telephone and shoot and that. So I'm also trying to get with a cell phone company, you know. Let me see. Oh, that's just, I'm just drinking this air. Do this right here. Look, Charlie. Follow it. Put it at the bottom. Does anybody else have anything that, questions?
Are you local, Charlie?
Yes, yes. And, thing I'm working on, and this is another thing too. I can honestly say this, I would never, ever let myself drink when I was coming up. Just part of who I was and the community I was raised in, the people, I would never celebrate, never let myself drink. And we were in a game in Kings Mountain, some of the roughest guys I ever played against. We had a lineup where we set 1, 2, 3.
Oh, wow.
That's
It opened the bottle.
That's one of the volunteers. But then again too, let me see, go back, keep going.
Right here. Started crazy.
Let me see, and they figure out how can the ball still be spinning as fast after you open it because it's on my fingertips, you know. And that's probably something I haven't share with a lot of people. But I was going to say something about what I had.
Kings Mountain.
Kings Mountain, thank you,
That's
thank you,
what she
thank you,
said.
thank you, Kings Mountain. And the thing is, those boys were so rough, and I mean rough, and they would let you know. But we would line up to take the ball out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they would try to get in between us. And you never let anybody, my thing was to never let anybody get inside my head, let anybody know. But this goes back to not celebrating and not letting myself dream. So we got in line, 1, 2, 3, I'm number 2, and there's 2 guys, and we trying to sit tight, not let them get in between us. But one of the guys from Kings Mountain, they trying to get in between us. And so we were standing there, we got in line, I gotta go this way, my man, he got in between us, and while we were standing there, he took his elbow and hit me in my gut, hard as he could. And my first reaction was to do that, but I'm out of the game. But, so I stood there and said, I didn't do nothing, but I could have hit it. That's your normal reaction.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, and I say this, and that's a lesson you learn, well, we won the game. And 2, for me to be thrown out of the game is another thing. You gotta look what he was trying to do to get inside my head. And then we do it all the time. And one thing I don't like about today's game, I hate it. I dislike it so bad. And I don't hate a lot of, is when players do stuff and they stand over a player. Stand over him and, come on, whatever you've done, let that represent that. You know, but that's not our culture now, for whatever not. And you know, I don't watch a lot of, I watch more college basketball than I do NBA because of that reason. My thing is, I love and really adore. And one thing about Michael Jordan, LeBron James, all those guys, I can never say that I dislike any of them. Because first of all, I don't know them. And everybody that hates LeBron, that hates Michael, that hates Duke, that hates we say that, but if Michael say, come over to my house, we'd be the first one to run over. We don't know these, we don't know these people. You can hate LeBron, but if he has a limousine come pick you up, I bet you would go. You know, so those are the kind of things that, and I work with a lot of youth, those are the kind of things I try to tell them. Whether they listen to me or not, I want to be the one that share that with them, because I didn't have, I don't know, as I was coming up, I don't know if we had a lot of people saying, you know, son, do this or do that. We just played and we had fun. It wasn't, we had a bad life, but I just can't remember that guidance. So what I try to do every opportunity I get to show what I do. And I can't say, well, I didn't get it, I ain't showing you. I try to use what I've experienced and I try to share with other people. Yes.
Do you ever practice at Mount Holly?
I do. Matter of fact, I did some videos up at the gym with
What gym?
Mahali.
Tuck.
Across,
Yeah.
You done the Tuck Center?
I done it,
So
Tuck.
the old gym.
Old gym?
across from
Yes.
the elementary, middle school.
And Reggie filmed it. Sure did.
Really?
Yeah, he did. He sure did.
And you can let us know when you practice it in Mount Holly.
Let you know?
Yes.
Okay. But you know, a lot of
There's a
times,
cheering section.
no, a lot of times, this is the last thing, a lot of times, I don't do that to let people see what I do or trying to show people. The only reason I'm on video now, because I got something I want to get, and what better way than to put it out to the world. Here's a lady from Australia, Sunday, sent me, she's a singer, her name, and I want y'all to remember this, she's an unbelievable jazz singer. Her name is Carmen Bradford. I met Carmen on social media. She's singing in Australia. This is what I was sharing with y'all earlier about if you be about who you are, you don't know what can happen. She sends me a message just on Instagram right now, a long message that says, I'm in Australia performing tonight, and I share with these people that's over here your videos, because you're the inspiration of what it's like to never give up, what it's like to keep going. And you talking about touching,
Wow.
but when you're doing what you're passionate about, that's what can happen. Thank y'all.
That was quite a story, wasn't it?
Yes,
An
indeed.
inspirational story too.
Very good.
We have refreshments, so don't go home.
Oh, that's what I like.
Sweets. And if you want to watch more of the videos, bring your refreshments in here and plug them in or whatever.